Hey, it's Amber from Lonstein Fitness, and today I want to tell you everything I want you to know about proteins. I'm going to break it down for you nice and simple. Proteins are made of amino acids, and amino acids are going to be categorized into two categories, essential or non-essential. Amino acids are the building blocks of the proteins in your body. And the proteins in our bodies are the building blocks for the muscle that we are growing and the muscle that we're trying to make. So there are about 20 amino acids total. 11 of those our body can produce on its own, but there are 9 that we cannot produce, and so we have to get those from our diet. Plants, on the other hand, can produce all of them. So the 9 that we need to get from our diet are called essential proteins because they're essential for us to function, but we cannot make them. So they're essential for us to get from our diet. These amino acids in our body are going to do things like help regulate our sleep, regulate our mood. They're going to carry things in our body like hemoglobin. They're going to promote weight loss, prevent muscle loss, all those types of things. And so we need every one of those amino acids in our diet. So a protein is going to be considered a complete protein when it provides all 9 of those essential amino acids. If it provides 8 or fewer, it's going to be called an incomplete protein. Those incomplete proteins can be eaten together so that you get all 9 amino acids that you need, and that would be called a complementary protein. But what does that look like in real life? So in real life, the complete proteins are going to be mostly a lot of animal products, meat, dairy, chia seeds, even soy. The incomplete proteins, beans, legumes, lots of vegetables. However, like I said, you can eat those incomplete proteins in combination with other incomplete proteins to equal a complete protein. So things that are going to be complementary, think of meals like mac and cheese, beans and rice, peanut butter on toast. Those are things that would give you all of those essential amino acids. Now, higher protein is not always best. Corporate America knows that Americans have this infatuation with losing weight and building muscle. And we all know that proteins do all that stuff. So corporate America capitalizes on this, especially the supplement industry, which is not regulated by the FDA. You will see lots of claims made on products, bigger and better, more expensive products where you're paying for even more protein than your body can actually utilize. So in one meal, your body can only utilize 25 to 35 grams of protein to help build your muscle. If you eat more than that 35 grams, it's going to be used in other parts of your body that you maybe don't need it. Could be stored as fat or it could be eliminated as waste. So when you are buying protein shakes or anything that has the synthetic protein in it, protein bars, things that are marketed that say extreme weight loss or extreme muscle building, those are red flags for you to check that label. I've even seen super mass products with 50 grams of protein. Your body cannot utilize that much, so essentially, don't waste your money on a product like that. The other thing you want to check with protein bars and protein shakes is the amount of sugar that's in that product too. So yes, bars and shakes have their place, especially if they're within that 25 to 35 grams of protein range. Those are great options for post-workout. But you want to check the sugars. If there's too many sugars in the product, just go ahead and skip on it. It's essentially a junk food, a granola bar that happens to have a lot of protein in it. There are better options on the market for you. Lots of healthy sources for proteins. Eggs is one of my favorite, but you have to eat the yolk and the white together to get the complete protein. Eggs, nuts, beef, turkey, chicken. I have a bunch of these listed on my website. Cottage cheese is one of my favorite snacks. Salmon, collagen, vegetables are going to be healthy for you, of course. The ones that are not so good. First one is soy. You're gonna see a lot of soy protein shakes, especially for people who are concerned about eating animal products. Soy seems to be the first option. However, the soy we use in America is not the same soy that's farmed in fields in Asia, where it's that good quality stuff. It's been processed so much that it just does not work the same in our bodies. In fact, most of the soy that you're gonna find here in America, if not all of it, it's going to mimic estrogen in your body. So for males, I don't know, I've never seen a vegetarian male who eats a lot of soy. He might have a little bit of man boobs, or he has a hard time building muscle. I've seen that with my clients before. And it's because he ate nothing but soy his whole life, and your body recognizes that as estrogen. So I do not normally recommend soy. Same thing with tofu made from soybeans, so I don't recommend that for my clients either. Cheese, cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is a little better option. Cheese we eat on everything, we're Americans, but it's a denatured protein, and there's so many toxins that can be found in cheese and cancer-causing agents that just aren't worth your time or money. There's better sources of protein than a block of cheese. And the other protein that I'm not really a huge fan of is pork. In fact, I was reading pregnant women aren't supposed to eat pork. The one time I was pregnant and ate pork, I threw it up because my body knew that it just was not good for me. In America, our quality of meat is really starting to fall, and pork is one of the very first meats that comes to mind when you think of very poor quality. So what should you do? What are the recommendations for eating protein in your diet? You're gonna find a recommendation of 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight that you have. That's a pretty good guesstimation for what you should be doing, trying to lose weight, trying to maintain, for what you should be eating. For my clients, I recommend like a range of 10 to 30% of your total intake should be from protein. I've read in places too, it says Americans, we eat enough protein. In fact, we might eat too much, but the problem is we're trying to eat it all in one big meal, one huge steak or whatever it might be. We're not spacing it out enough. And remember that 25 to 35 gram recommendation. So try to eat smaller portions of your protein throughout the day to get your calories, instead of eating like a big steak and then a huge shake post-workout, because like we said, your body just cannot utilize all of that. Another good practice is to get a quick protein snack right after your workout. This could be nuts, could be your protein shake, could be a little thing of cottage cheese. A little bit of protein goes a long way right after your workouts. So that's everything I want you to know about proteins, the basic rundown. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. I'd love to discuss, and we'll see you next week.